Let me stop the transcription. Right. Evening, everyone. As we spoke last week and agreed last week, Michelle was going to spend a bit of time with us looking at the databases, the electronic databases that we have. We're also going to spend a bit of time on Zotero and then also spend a bit of time on ResearchRabbit. And in Michelle, any other AIs that can assist the students in terms of their research. But it's not just for your research subject, guys. Remember, it's for every single subject you'll do beyond here. I think for some of you, this is a start of a journey into masters, etc. So, Michelle, thank you so much. You are an absolute rock star. We appreciate you. And I'm going to hand over to Michelle. Cheers, cheers, everyone.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for the introduction. And yes, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of everything with live run-throughs tonight. And please feel free to ask questions along the way if you're not sure about what I'm saying, or if you want me to repeat a certain section. I'm happy to do that. Before we get started, how many of you have used Zotero in some way, shape, or form? A thumbs up or a heart if you have used it. I know that not everybody has had a chance to download it yet. Okay, great. Well done to those who've given it a try. That's really encouraging to see. Excellent job, guys. Okay, so Zotero is Henny's favorite, so you guys must use it. Okay, and hopefully after tonight it won't be so scary anymore. So yeah, that's Zotero. And then the other things, I wonder if you've heard of R Discovery. If not, that's okay. That's an AI tool that can assist with literature searches, and I'll go through that as well. But I think let's start with the easy stuff. Let's start with the basics. And the basics, you will need to know how to navigate the IIE library. All right, so what I'll do, I'll share my screen, and then we'll get started with the basics of databases.
Hi, Michelle. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I've got a question from Elisma here.
Okay.
Also, can we cover how to reference AI? Now, we don't reference AI, obviously, but how to
Yes,
account
the
for
annexure.
the annexure.
Okay,
Okay,
absolutely.
thanks,
Let's
Say.
cover that as well. We'll do an express session covering pretty much everything. So Henny, just to check, have I got 30 minutes or 45?
You've got an hour.
I've got an
We
hour.
work the
Okay.
full hour. We work the full hour
Fabulous.
here.
Fabulous. Okay. All right. We're in for an action-packed evening. All right. So first things first, I hope you all know this page very well. This is the one-stop shop for anything library or online database related. This is a new search bar. Okay, we've had it before, but it's never been as good as it is now. Why do I say that? Because when you type your search in here, it will automatically look through our eShelf and try to find the most relevant stuff for you. Okay, the online library, that's more if maybe you were looking for a particular book at a campus. But for now, let's stick with what we know. And I'm just going to go with what I was assisting a student with the other night, but brand resonance, and let's call it sustainable development. Okay. And what I did was I just typed the search in, I pressed enter. This is a hit or miss, okay, but it is going to show you a different way to search in case you haven't been coming right with some of the other databases. All right, so if all else fails, you type in your random search and then the results should come up. I hope nobody is working on the database because I did struggle to log into EBSCO tonight earlier. It could be that they are doing some maintenance on the site itself. Okay, or it's just slow. So here's hoping. Okay, good. It is loading. Now, what EBSCO has done and what's really, really nice is they've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible. And they've even added certain things, such as how many times the article's been cited. Okay, so guys, cited by means other people have referenced it. And the more citations, the better it is. You'll see when we use ResearchRabbit, the bigger the circle, the more people have cited it. Okay, and that's good. Now, our search has given us 76,000 results. That's too much. You'll also note I haven't signed in. It's not a requirement to sign in, but if you want to save your searches, you will need to create your own MyEBSCO account. You can use any email address really. If your MyEmirus one doesn't work, just use a Gmail. That's what I've done in the past. Okay, so first things first, we wanted the last 5 years. We want scholarly journals and preferably full text. Okay, so let's see how many results it gives us now. 9,000 results, still a bit much, but you can even see it says show the first 50. So if you find what you want on the first page, then that's perfect. You can even see it's copied some of the keywords and highlighted them for you. So then you know what keywords are relevant to your search. And again, if this is not working for you, you can do the natural language search. Okay, and you can read about how it works. I'll give you the summary. It is kind of like ChatGPT. So you can type a full sentence into the search bar and I'm not going to say copy your assignment question, but I suppose you could do that just to find out what articles show up. But the more information you give it, the better it can work for you. So you might want to say, I'm looking for articles on brand resonance in the South African context that talk about sustainable development or other SDGs. And you can type that whole thing in and then it will search. Okay, but for now, you can see here that this one was cited by 2 people and it even has a generate AI insight. Okay, what is that? It's a summary. It tells you about the article without you having to read 10 pages. So in 5 bullet points, that's what the article is all about. And then you can even give feedback to say, did you find the insights useful or not? So this is one way that EBSCO is staying relevant by making your life easier and your searches more specific. Okay, all right. So I hope if you've had trouble finding articles in the past, I hope this is going to make it easier for you. There's always more than one way to go to the same place. So if you don't want to do the random search, you can go in to the eShelf and you can go to the EBSCO host. It takes you to literally the same search page as before. And I can prove it to you because there's even that E at the top corner showing you it's EBSCO host. But yeah, basically any information service. If you want to discover as many as possible, you're going to choose the middle option, Discovery Service. But I mean, if you just want to find ebooks, then the top web option is totally fine. But just like before, so here we had all of those little filters, and we've got the filters here as well. Okay, so that was EBSCO. I'm also just going to take you through a couple of our biggest and best databases. If you get bored of EBSCO, there are other ones you can try. I really like Emerald Insight. It was one of the first ones I was introduced to when I worked at Nelson Mandela University. It's got every topic, from humanities to business. It's got a bit of everything, almost like Google Scholar in a way, but more academic, I suppose. Not that Google Scholar is bad, but sometimes it can be limiting. All right, and then the other one I wanted to show you was Taylor and Francis. So let's see if it takes us through to the database. Okay, excellent. Always make sure that it says access provided by the Independent Institute of Education. If it doesn't, it means you won't be finding all the articles that are available to you. And same way as before, you type your keywords in the box or your sentence in the box and you can do your search. There is, however, another way that you can search. You can search by topic. So if you don't want to go through the 5,550 plus articles, you can go by humanities, for example. Let's see what we get when we click on humanities. Okay, and this is very nice. I love it when they have the actual picture of the journal that it comes from. It's more memorable that way. And you'll see that it's alphabetical. There are so many, but yeah, if it's got a green tick on the corner, means partial access. But generally the ones with the unlocked lock. That is open access. So it should be available to you. If you do run into problems, please make sure that you contact us on Emrys Assist, and then we'll try to contact our other library colleagues to access that article for you, and then we'll send you a PDF copy. Okay, but anyway, I suppose you've seen one, you've seen them all. I'm just perhaps nudging you towards the better ones that we've got. So Taylor and Francis is a world-class database. So please, please do make use of it. Top quality journals reside there. Okay. All right. So now that databases are out there. Yes, Henny.
Apologies, Michelle. Michelle, so doing the cover page search, you know, that initial
Yes,
page
the
that
first one.
the landing page, that doesn't go into every single one of these.
I think it does, but it doesn't always find everything.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
almost like you're on the beach with a metal detector and it starts beeping and you find a bottle can or something, but it may not dig deep enough so that you find gold coins, if you get my understanding.
Thanks so much. Wonderful.
Okay. All right. So this is a broader search, and then if you go into the databases specifically, it might be a more targeted search. Okay, I think that so we were going from easy to difficult. So I think our next easiest stop is ResearchRabbit, actually. It's a lot more straightforward than you might think. I'm just going to close here, and then I've got a tab open. I've had a tab open somewhere. Okay. All right, so ResearchRabbit's downloadable app. It is AI, so you must be able to acknowledge it. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, but first things first, you'll have to sign in. So what you can do is you can use either a personal email or your My Emrys email. And then, as with most apps, you've got your, I suppose, your topic search. Okay, is there a specific topic that you had to do for an assignment recently, or should I just pick a random one? Shall I just do a random one? Okay. Then it's going to be something that interests me, information literacy and AI literacy. For those who have attended my library classes, I'm sorry. So I always use that example. Okay, all right. So information literacy and AI literacy. Those are my two main key points. And what I want is I want to look at the relevance of 3 articles. Okay, so what I'm looking for, so you can see those carrots on the side, I'm looking for 3 seed articles. You know, like you tossing seeds out and you're wanting them to grow and make more of it. So I'm going to choose just randomly because I don't have time to read each article. I'm going to choose the first one came out of the Journal of Information Literacy. So then I want to do maybe one that comes from eJournal of Library Science. And where does ChatGPT fit into the framework of information literacy? That sounds interesting to me. Okay, so I'm choosing 3 random articles. And then what I can do is I can press search. Okay, the rabbit's digging the hole. And check what we got. We have lots of circles, not necessarily linked to each other. What that means is that maybe the citations on these particular articles are not very high. And maybe they are almost too recent. You'll see there's lots of 2024, and it doesn't actually go beyond the 2014 mark. However, from experience, I know that these top ones are the biggest circles, and therefore they are what you would call seminal sources or the main articles. So all of the ones that perhaps stem from the main articles would be towards your right-hand side of the screen, and then the older ones are to the left. Okay, and this one says Framework for Information Literacy. Now, what I'm thinking is a lot of these recent articles talk about AI literacy, but not necessarily information literacy, and that's why they're not linked. Okay, but do you see here, there's my little seedling all by itself in a lonely corner. So perhaps I need to go back and add that ACRL one to my list. So do you see, I tick the box and then it gets selected there. Once I go down the list and I read up a little bit more, I might even find that the article by George is very relevant to me. See, it says higher education and artificial intelligence. All right. And as you can see, they're starting to make more sense. And this is how you find out if you've missed out on any of the very important authors in your field. You click that circle to highlight it, and it actually tells you a little bit more about that article. Sometimes, and I'm not sure if it will do it in this case, sometimes it links you to the actual page where that article can be found. Okay, so depending on whether you're signed in or not, it will give you a DOI number and possibly access, but I don't know if this is a journal that we actually subscribe to. If not, then I suppose what you'll do is you'll copy paste that and you'll write that Emerus ticket and you'll say, Michelle, please find this for me. And then I go and I ask my library colleagues to help out. Okay, but in any case, down the research rabbit hole, we find so many different articles, but how do we know that they're relevant? The bigger the circle, the more people have cited it, the more popular it is. Okay, so you have to be sure that you are quoting the articles that have the biggest circles. Okay, so once you've downloaded these articles, then you can actually start working with the referencing for Zotero. The Zotero platform actually has a plug-in for ResearchRabbit, so they do speak to each other. Okay, so that's why I showed you ResearchRabbit first. You don't have to use it, but it does make your life a lot easier. Okay, so you can keep finding, you can keep digging, you can keep searching more and more and more. So the plant icon, that's where I said that's the seedling. We want other articles to grow from it, or at least suggest to us different articles. And then you can even read more. So if you're not sure how it works, you can click all these different things and read it in your own time. But otherwise, you can save those searches. And then when you go away and you come back, then at least you know what you searched for won't be lost. So yeah, I think search 3 at a time in the beginning. We don't want to make it too complex too soon, but all you need to know is the higher up it is, the bigger the circle will be, the more people have quoted it, and then the more to the right it is, then the more recent the study has been. So the more up to date that research is. Are there any questions at this stage? Perhaps if you could put a hand up, I'm happy to answer. But if you're okay.
Tandu's got her hand up. Tandu has her hand.
Okay, Tandu, yes. Hi there.
Hi. Quick one. I see there's a bit of an upgrade tab at the top. Does that mean that ResearchRabbit needs a paid subscription?
There is an upgrade, but I've never actually used it at all. So there are different, there's a free version as well as the ResearchRabbit Plus, but it's not necessary.
Okay,
So
great.
I would say our searches are not going to be more than 50 inputs, meaning it's not like we're doing 500 articles and publishing in a whole different bunch of places. So we have unlimited searches in the free version, which is exactly the same as what the paid one offers. So I would say definitely work with the free version. We don't really do multiple projects at the same time, so it's not needed to buy anything. But thank you for the question. It was a really relevant question. Another one that's also completely free, and that's one that I mentioned, RDiscovery. RDiscovery also has, yes, oh, sorry, I can't see the hands.
Sorry, Michelle. Please just check very quickly. In the chat, people are asking questions.
Okay. Let's see. Struggle to organize sources. Okay, all right. Don't worry, Liam. We'll get to that. Okay, sorry, that's not relevant tonight. What is it? Oh, incomplete data means they don't have the PDF directly available. So you have to go outside to the source, to the website that has the data. Okay, and then where can we find a list of sites that we should keep away from? Oh, yes. Nosipo, I love your question. I'm going to show you right now. So let's go to IIE Library. And then from IIE Library, right at the top, research support. So I hope you guys have all read every single article. Jokes. Predatory journals is probably your most important link. It's called Beale's list. He's the guy who wrote the list. And it starts off with the publishers. Okay, so I know for a fact MDPI is bad. Avoid any journal or publication by that place. If it shows up in highlighted text, it's dodgy. It's really dodgy. And then standalone journals. At one point, academia was on there, but I see it's actually been removed. So maybe they've upgraded and they're no longer bad. But in any case, it's an A to Z list. So you can type in International Journal of Economics. I'm just guessing here. I mean, sounds legit to me. Okay. Oh gosh, I forgot my spelling there. Okay. There are 4 fake International Journal of Economics. All right. So if you used one of these, you would actually either be plagiarizing or, it would be pretty bad. And then you can actually click the link and go to what the journal looks like. I won't do that now because we'll be here all night. But if it's highlighted, then avoid it like the plague. It is bad, bad, bad news. Yeah, so the standalone journals, I think, Vanity Press, just in case you're wondering, it's emails that our lecturers sometimes get to say, we love your work. We want you to publish an article. We'll even pay you to do it. All you need to do is sign up. And then they actually steal that lecturer's work. So Vanity Press, it's more like, I want my name to be on the page kind of thing, to be published. And then this tells you different publishers who are pretty bad, who might email you. And those are the names there to avoid. I've actually heard of the IGI Global Group. Okay, but anyway, that's not important to you guys now. Stick with standalone journals or publishers and just please always check where it comes from. Okay, let's go back to our questions. Oh, I see. What's this example? Oh, that was from earlier. Okay. What's the point of creating? Oh, people make money from the predatory journals. So they steal, like let's say I publish on Sage Publications. I think I'm publishing on their page, but the scammers have used a fake page and I've uploaded all of my details on the fake page and then I pay page fees. It's kind of like publication fees. So I pay my 4,000 Rand and I think, okay, this is awesome. I have an open access article on Sage. Next thing I know, they've stolen my article. It's no longer attributed to my name. Somebody else's name is on there, and they are the ones making money from it. So that's the whole point is people are scamming other people to get money, and it's not right. So we need to avoid, I suppose, redistributing those bad references at all costs. And yes, Elisma, if you are not sure, you can either check with an information specialist or you can do it yourself just in case. But I can tell you now, anything on the IIE library page is good. So if you want to make sure that you are doing the right thing, stick with journals that come from the IIE library and its databases. So remember the Taylor and Francis, it says access granted by IIE. That's perfect because then you know every single article on Taylor and Francis is a good one. Yeah, it is a long list. It's a very, very long list. I haven't even gone through all of them. Pleasure. Okay, is everyone happy? I think we've had some excellent questions tonight. Please keep them coming. Even if I can't see the chat, I'm happy to answer afterwards too. Okay, let's take a quick look at R Discovery. This is also for finding articles. So I would say it's almost a little bit too helpful at times. I've got the app on my phone. I hope that I've downloaded it for you guys today. Oh gosh, I went into images accidentally. Okay, there's my bookmark. I hope it remembers me. Let's confirm you are human. Okay. Oh, these are painful. I am human. That's good to know. Okay, what are we searching for? We can be searching for anything under the sun, or we can actually say, I want education articles, or I want business articles. I want artificial intelligence articles. And then it gives you little prompts. Maybe I want to find out more about data scarcity, who knows? But actually, let's stick with what we had before. Oh gosh, how do you spell business? Okay, it's been a long day. Business. I'll say integrity, and I'll just say, what's the word for green? I'll just say green packaging. So I can't think of the other word. Okay,
Sustainable, Michelle. Sustainable.
Yes, sustainable is the other word, but there's another one with green in it. I'm not sure if
It's eco packaging.
Thank you. Eco packaging is what I wanted. Thanks so much. Oh gosh, I'm out of uses. Okay, so this is the bad part about having a free subscription is that you only have so many searches, and I've just used up my last one. Okay, but in any case, it's probably because I'm not signed in. What we can do, I can show you what on the 12th of March I did a search, and I just typed in exploring brand storytelling and brand resonance, and it gives you an overview. Okay, so just heads up, you cannot copy paste this into your work. It has to be modified and paraphrased by you first. Otherwise, on your script, Turnitin is going to pick it up as 100% AI. It's coding in the background that you won't be able to see or check up on. But yeah, definitely write it out, change the wording, change sentences, or one step better, find relevant articles for that topic. And then you'll see there are suggestions made. And you can go again, you can spend as long as you want, but you can actually ask a follow-up question, and you can say, find articles between 2020 and 2025, and then it's going to give you some options. I was doing a book chapter last year in December, and I just asked, are there any articles on meta-literate learner characteristics and AI literacy? And then it tells me there are indeed. And funnily enough, I'm actually working with the guy, Mackie, and Jacobson. The two of them are from Empire State University, and they published a lot about meta-literacy. So I know that this is actually a really good source. And if you click those blue links, it takes you to the actual article name where you can then click and find out more. And then it's even got translations and other fancy things. But look what it's got there. Export to Zotero or Mendeley if that's your preferred option, but Zotero is better. It can do lots more. So what you do is then you export this and you can save the PDF, but obviously I'm not signed in, so I don't have the access. And if they register for free, really should. Okay, but yeah, if they've got the text, then the text also gets saved to Zotero, and that's fantastic because now you've got the article with you and it's in the correct format. All right, so basically, what am I going to use R Discovery for? To discover articles. And as long as you know what you're using the tool for and you don't get overwhelmed or bogged down, you can see here how well it links with the ResearchRabbit kind of effect, where the biggest circle is they have been quoted many times. So they are definitely the seminal authors, and the other ones maybe not so much, but we do have a couple of the dark dots which are more relevant than the light dots. Okay, so always a good thing to understand what you are looking at. This is also one of our old colleagues, Brenda van Wyk. She recently published an article in the IFLA journal. And then, side note, IFLA is kind of like the UN for librarians. I am one of the members of the Information Literacy Committee, hence my passion for it. But yeah, basically, as long as you identify or you find that these are credible sources, then you're good to go. But I would say still double check these because it is an AI tool that is finding them. So it's not as safe as if you went to the IIE library page. So you will have to check Beale's list for these ones. Okay, but yeah, basically you can do a lot with the tool. Let's have a look at the chat when it loads. Okay, as long as you source from EBSCO, yes, correct. Okay, what happens if we use the journal by mistake? So Tando, it does happen that we use the predatory journals without knowing. If it gets picked up by a librarian or by your lecturer, you will need to take it out and find an alternate source to replace it with. There is no other option. We need to remove it. It could affect your mark or even your graduation, because think of it like cheating. You're using a dishonest source, and we want to avoid that at all costs, because then your degree is not worth as much because it does not have academic rigor. Okay. Oh, Yaniska, you made my day. Love our discovery. Yeah, and exactly. If we've got the free one, unfortunately, it is limited. So you've got to be really careful when you type in that search. It has to be specifically what you need. Otherwise, you're going to have to log on with a different sign-in or something like that. Okay, but thank you so much for everyone's input. And yes, Liam, I think the word eco, that's what that is the word I was looking for. Okay, and on to Zotero. So here's hoping it works for you guys tonight. I did open up a Word document. Oh, let's just close that. Okay. All right, so first things first, I think what I'll do is I'll just show, for those who have not downloaded, I will just go to the page itself. Okay, Zotero. All right, so this is what you will see, your personal research assistant, and then you click download. Okay, so there's two options when you download. The first option is the actual app for your computer, and then the second one is called a connector, connects to other stuff. And when you are searching the internet, then it will help pull the articles from those places. So you might want to do both, or just the one. The old school one, Zotero for Windows, is fine. You can do everything the same. And then now there is Zotero for mobile. All right, and we do have a how-to video on the IE library page under the research support section, helpful tools. Okay, if you go, okay, so maybe I went too fast. Research tools, helpful tools, scroll down right to the end. Video on understanding Zotero is here. Okay, so if what I've said tonight is maybe a bit confusing, then just watch this video on the IE library page as well. And then you'll be able to understand why we want to use Zotero and not just save the references in a file on our desktop. Okay, because at the end of the day, we want you to maximize your efficiency and your time management, and Zotero can help us do that. You to maximize your efficiency. Okay, there is a bit of an echo. Not sure why. Does someone want to ask a question? I don't hear anything. Okay. All right, let's go back to my Word document now. Okay, so I clicked on the Zotero plugin that I had previously downloaded. Every time I go onto a new website, it asks me, do I want to proxy this or proxy that? And you can say yes or no. That's the plugin aspect. But first of all, let me write a sentence. This is the first sentence. Okay. And now we're going to add a citation. Okay, what's the difference between a citation and an in-text reference? Nothing, it's the same. It's just the same word used differently. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say that it's my quote, and it's from there. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in. Oh, did not save. It was strange, it's supposed to save. Insert note. It's not saving. Okay. Technical difficulties, unfortunately. Oh gosh. Why is it doing this?
So while you're struggling there,
Yes,
it says, Niska says that she can't find Harvard Anglia on Zotero. Is that right?
that is correct. We will still have to modify our citations afterwards. So what we have, let me just show you quickly. Okay, all right, so my Zotero is glitching tonight. Oh my gosh. Type random nonsense. If only I could add a citation. Let's try classic view. Oh, I just need to get. Okay, all right. What I'll do is I'll just, oh gosh, it's
Sorry,
not going
Michelle.
to work. Yes, hi.
Sorry for just budging in there. I think what might be the problem there is, have you got the Zotero app that you downloaded on your desktop open in the background?
I'm not sure. Oh, maybe I don't. I think I
Hmm.
did before the call. Let's just check now. Thanks.
Yeah, because I've
Yeah,
seen with
they
mine, it
don't speak
happens
to each other.
sometimes. They don't
Yes.
speak, then you won't be able
Oh
to do any
goodness.
citations or bibliographies because
Yes,
it wants to go back and refresh that library that you made.
exactly. Yes, and then the bibliography list doesn't want to load. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for that. I think that's probably the case.
Thanks.
Okay, perfect. Let me close anything I'm not using at the moment. And then it was open a while ago. Ah, frustrating when it doesn't actually want to load up. It's literally not loading for me. I have a feeling, Henny, wasn't it last year that there was some tool that wasn't working for us?
Oh, Michelle, I
I,
can't remember. I've
I
always had
think
it
there
working
was,
for me. I don't know. Maybe there's some
yeah,
protections in terms of what
there
we are
could be
now
a
faced with.
firewall. I think maybe, because I mean, I'm clicking open, it's not opening. I'm looking at all my tabs, it's not there. So I won't be able to show you what I had planned. I don't know if it's any kind of Teams firewall or what it is, but it's not working for me tonight.
Michelle, you said you had a
Yeah,
recording on how to use it, a step-by-step
yes.
recording.
Yeah,
Can
can
we
I
not
maybe
just
post
share
that in the
that?
chat? Yes, I think
Yeah,
that's going to be our best for now.
thank you.
And then maybe I wonder if there's anything else I can show you guys. Oh, yes, I think there is. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the link and then I'm going to paste that in the chat. And then I want to show you guys a different, I won't play the video for you, but close that. Oh, it's a guy with a massive beard. Don't know if you know Andy Stapleton. He's all about research. I think he's hilarious. Oh, okay. There was a question. What's the general concern for using Word's built-in referencing tool? It's also not the correct Harvard Anglia. So with all of these tools, while they will save you time in that they collect all your PDFs together, they won't have the correct reference list populated. You'll have to go in, and what I was going to show you guys is the unlinking. It's not even clicking on Zotero now. I'm worried. Oh, sorry for this. This is awful. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think when the Windows update restarted, it messed with some of my settings. Okay, but basically, when you go, yeah, when you go into the tool itself, then it's going to ask you for different options, and it's going to say unlink. All right, so that's what you'll need to do once, but you only do this once your reference list is completely finished, up to date, etc. You must then unlink them so that you can edit the references. If you don't do that, you're going to have a bit of a problem on your hands. Okay, so this is Andy Stapleton. This is his YouTube channel, and he can tell you a whole lot more about R discovery than I've told you tonight. But think of this as the intro session, and you can always upskill and learn more by watching some of his fun videos. Okay, so the one that I wanted to share with you, let's see if we can find it. Zotero. Videos. Gosh, it's got lots of papers. Yeah. Goodness. Okay, well, there's a ResearchRabbit one if you were interested. Top tools for AI reviews. I saw ResearchRabbit in there again. It really is one of the best. I do recommend it. Okay, but in any case, his name is Andy Stapleton. Maybe what I should do is I should just say Zotero Andy Stapleton, and then I can find the link for you and put that in your chat. There it is. Okay, unlock Zotero. So let's share, copy, and paste. Okay, so sorry guys that my Zotero was offline tonight. Okay, Shannon is asking, so we don't have to acknowledge that we use Zotero for our references. I think it depends how you use an AI tool. For me, I don't think that if you use it just for sorting references, I don't think it's necessary to have an annexure for that. But if you were going to use a setting about, the same way that a grammar tool can do more than just do spelling, you'd have to then I suppose just be accountable. So be responsible, be honest, be accountable. If you've used it in any other way other than just populating a reference list, you will need to say so. But in terms of in general, no, we don't reference Zotero or acknowledge it. Okay, all right. So you've got your 2 links, you've got your homework. I did take 45 minutes, Henny. I think that's naturally built in. I don't want to waste anyone's time. Are there any further questions for tonight? You're welcome to ask anything library related or that's on your mind. Okay, so Elizabeth's saying she learnt a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Not use the plug-in version, create a library for an assignment. Yes, so creating a library is very important. That's being a collector. You collect all your articles together. Mendeley does the same thing as Zotero, but Zotero does it better. So once you've collected all of your articles, then that's when you can populate the reference list. Uniska, yes, you've got a question.
Hi, Michelle. Okay, so I think I just want to address the elephant in the room, maybe. When it comes to plagiarism checker apps, I know most of them do want a subscription. There's not a lot of free apps out there to actually check your work before you do the final submission.
Yes.
I've also tried to play around with, I think it's Chat GPT, if I'm not mistaken, Do you have any other apps that you may recommend that we can use before we submit it towards the Turnitin
Okay.
application on Arc?
All right. So there is no perfect tool. Anything that's created by AI, it's generative, so there's room for error. But the best one that I've seen, if you are going to use a tool, use copy leaks, because that one at least is, I suppose, a credible kind of checker. But ideally, we want you to be able to trust in your own work. And if you know deep down that you actually didn't do a lot of the assignment yourself, then maybe one should get into trouble. But I suppose copy leaks is one of the most credible checking tools for AI. And yes, Grammarly can help. Grammarly is actually too helpful at times. It will say, can I write this conclusion for you? So please don't overuse Grammarly. Grammarly is awesome if used correctly for spelling, grammar, and minor, I suppose you can say, sentence structure changes. Okay, please help on how we can form. Oh, yes, Nosipo, thank you. You've been so good tonight. Thank you. Last thing on our list is the AI annexure. And for that, I'll use my slides and I'll even share it with you guys in the chat in case you don't have it already. Okay, let me just see if I do have access to the chat first. Plus, and then upload the document. Okay, so then all of you will be able to view it at the same time or not. Okay, all right. Maybe you'll have to take screenshots. I'm not able to upload. Okay, so let me share my screen instead. Okay, I had hoped it would be. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is the first page. This slide is AI disclosure. That means generative AI. After your reference list, so imagine there's an A to Z list of sources in here. You then leave a space and write the word annexure as a heading. You will also have these headings here. I've placed bullet points next to them so that you can see that they are separate headings or subtitles. And then what you will do is you will add your own information on those places. So for title, I suppose you can say disclosure of AI usage in my assessment or in my assignment. And then the section in which it was used, you need to be as specific as possible. Question 1.4, question 2.6, etc. Or if you have used it in the whole assignment, you must say so. Okay. And then the name of the tool, you will have one annexure per tool. So that means this whole thing is only for ChatGPT. If you used Copilot as well, you'll need to leave a space and write all of these things again for the next tool. If you've used 5 tools, you'll have to do this 5 times. Okay. Purpose or intention, why did you use it? You may have wanted to do definitions or a skeleton structure for your essay, formulating ideas, etc. But it will never be, I suppose, never let ChatGPT be the one in control of the narrative. It must still come from you and be your voice at the end of the day. And then if you have used it on more than one date, you will need to say so, as well as if you have a chat open. So you've used prompts, you need to show us those prompts, either as a screenshot or as a chat that you download, and then you share the link. But it needs to be an active link so that everybody can see it and not have to sign in for it. Okay, I just want to check it. I think there might be a question. Okay, is this right after reference on a new page? I like to put it on a new page, but I don't think there's anything in the guide that tells you if you must put it on a new page or not. I just always put a reference list on the new page, so for me, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just closing up all my tabs. Okay, here we go. Last slide. Example of how to disclose grammar tools. And I think the rules are possibly changing. So this is a fluid situation. There has been a new policy called number 33, IIE number 33, and that is about AI for teaching and learning. And I think I could be wrong, but I think it might say that depending on how the grammar tool is used, you may or may not need to disclose it. But just be safe. And for now, let's stick with what we know. And let's say if we've used it for spelling and grammar, we will put it in the annexure so that we can't get into trouble. Okay, and then the nice thing about the grammar tool is that you don't have to put a link. We trust that this is going to be not a copy-paste exercise, but rather that it's just made suggestions and you've taken up some of those suggestions. At the end of the day, you are the editor and you are South African. So if they've given you a US spelling or some kind of international spelling, it may actually be worse off. So just always remember that we do use the South African English, which is more closely linked to the UK English. Okay. And on Word, they do have a South African option. If you go under style, I might even be able to show you guys while we are here. Gosh, where is it now? It should be under home. There. Okay, so you go home, style, and then, oh wait, no, it's not style. I'm thinking of the wrong word now. Oh, can you guys help me out? It's called language? Proofing language. That's the one. Okay. So it's called proofing language. Do you see here? You can select English South Africa or English UK. Those are my top two favorites. So they even make special exceptions for us people in South Africa. Okay, but yeah, bottom line, be consistent and then you won't go wrong. So please do disclose all usage of AI tools, just to be on the safe side. Keep a rough draft somewhere. Again, just in case you need to prove that this was your own work and not generated by an AI tool. Okay, and that's it. All right, used up 55 minutes. There we go, Henny.
Thanks, Michelle. Thando, do you mean Word? Is that when you use the editing tool in Word? Because I don't think you need to disclose that, do we, Michelle?
No.
No, please don't disclose that.
Where do you see that?
In the chat,
Where's that question?
So right at the end. So even if you still need to add every date you've used
shame.
it for.
No,
So even
okay.
for Word to be acknowledged. No, that's editing. You can use the editor. You don't need to disclose that.
Yeah, so it's not generating an answer for you. I think, so Henny, what happens these days is Copilot is very, very helpful. And Copilot is in Word sometimes, unless you disable it. And then it can suggest, may I write an introduction for you? I've tested it myself, and it does in Word offer to write an introduction. So I think it's more about being mindful, being careful about what's out there. And even if it is out there, it doesn't mean that we need to use them. Let's trust ourselves and our better judgment, because at the end of the day, an AI tool generates nonsense, and we don't want to put forward that nonsense for Henny to mark. That will ruin his day.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It takes a lot to ruin my day, guys. Alcohol and drugs prevent that. But yeah, thanks so much, Michelle. We appreciate you. Please take care. This is fantastic. I think we are going to use this forever and ever and ever. Cheers, Michelle. Thank you. Cheers, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow evening, I think, for the research. Otherwise, please take care all. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, everybody.
Cheers
Good
all,
night.
man.